I've got good news for dollar bulls this week. The US ADP non-farm employment change numbers came out much higher than expected at 235,000. Not only that, but the unemployment claims missed, coming in slightly lower than expected at 204,000. These are good numbers heading into tomorrow's unemployment rate news event. The unemployment rate is currently projected to remain unchanged at 3.7%, but these numbers will make the release tomorrow a lot more interesting, as we could potentially see a drop in unemployment, or perhaps will stay unchanged. Either way, it looks likely there will be good news for the dollar. The new Canadian unemployment rate number also comes out tomorrow and is projected to be raised up to 5.2%.
All right, so here we are starting off in the Edge Finder. We're going to start off like normal, taking a look at the market heat map. We're going to see how all of our assets here listed in the Edge Finder are trending so far today. I'm going to run through this a little bit quickly so that we can get onto a currency pair. But starting off here up top, I can see US dollar pairs. Most of our US dollar pairs starting off in the negative today. Of course, that could turn around as the day goes on, but GBP USD down 1.32% on the day so far. USD JPY up 1.13% on the day so far. Japanese yen has been trending fairly well this week, and so is the Japanese stock market. Today, at least, the Japanese stock market up 0.4%. UK 100 also up 0.19%, or excuse me, just 0.91%. That's what I meant to say. But U.S. indices are performing very, very poorly. The NASDAQ down 0.96%, the S&P down 0.9%, and the U.S. 30 down 0.88%. Now, that could be because of our U.S. employment news that came out today and will be coming out tomorrow. The dollar did rally this morning off of that good employment news, and as we know, as people invest in the dollar, they sometimes tend to not invest in the stock market as much, as they are investing in the dollar and not the stock market, not the economy. But let's take a look at where gold and oil are at in here. Here's oil right here, pretty neutral, up 0.25% on the day so far. So actually, it is up a little bit, just a little bit on the day. But what about gold? Gold all the way down here, XAU USD is actually tied for our biggest mover to the downside so far today, down 1.32% on the day so far. So gold not doing very well. Also, again, could potentially be because people are investing in the dollar. Oftentimes, gold and the dollar work inversely from each other. So as people invest in one, they tend to not invest in the other. So if people are investing in the dollar based on this good employment data that we've had so far today, they are not investing in gold, not investing in the stocks, which is causing the dollar to rally, stocks and gold to drop so far today. And we will see how that keeps up tomorrow with the actual unemployment rate news event.
Are you trying to find a broker or feel like you need a better one? In the description below, you'll find the link to fill out our broker match form. After answering a few easy questions, our team will reach back out to you with a personalized broker recommendation. Try it for free in the description below.
Euro pairs are mostly shooting to the upside. Euro GBP up 0.62%. Euro USD is down 0.7% or 0.75% on the day so far. Pound pairs are mostly down as well. GBP USD down 1.32%. And Euro GBP is our only pound pair in the positive so far today. Our yen pairs, like I mentioned, are performing pretty well this week, with USD JPY up that 1.13%. Most of our yen pairs are up. Swiss franc pairs look mirror image of each other. They are completely split, with USD CHF 0.63%, GBP CHF down 0.57%. But look at that, we've got 3 up, 3 down, and 1 that's pretty much completely neutral. Is it even up 0.01%? Australian dollar pairs and New Zealand dollar pairs mostly in the negative today. Aussie US down 1.27%. Euro Aussie our only one in the positive, up 0.54% on the day so far. And our New Zealand dollar pairs again mostly in the negative. NZD USD down 1.1%, and only NZD JPY and Euro NZD are in the positive. Euro NZD being up 0.39%. So A lot of movement today, looking like the dollar is rallying, at least USD CHF, USD CAD, and USD JPY. We can see the buying the dollar here, selling off the other pair here to buy the dollar there. And let's take a look at the watch list. Let's get rid of these neutral biases so that we can just see our buy and sell signals. And not a whole lot of change from yesterday. We still have a ton of sells in here. Only one strong buy in ZD CAD. We have our same strong buy from yesterday, GBP and ZD. And we have a new strong, our same strong sell right here, GBP and ZD. And we have a new strong sell, GBP USD, with a score of -6. I'm going to get rid of the indices as well, just so that we can see our currency pairs. So here we go. Now we're left with only our currency pairs. A lot of sells, not a whole lot of buys. Euro GBP a buy, USD CAD a buy, CHF JPY also a buy. Not a lot of strong scores here. And so I think that I'm going to take a look at GBP USD because it is a new strong sell score right here. We're going to take a look at our US dollars before, or US dollar numbers rather, before tomorrow's unemployment event. We'll take a look at US dollar and Canadian dollar numbers tomorrow after that new unemployment numbers come out. But let's see, GBP USD is looking like a strong sell. And we can see, like I mentioned, a score of -6 right here. COT data and retail sentiment both coming out to scores of -1. And let's take a look at that sentiment section right over here. So COT data, or institutional trader data, currently has the US dollar favored long 67.17% compared to 32.83%, whereas the pound is slightly favored on the short side, 55.91%, 44.09%. But as we know, we don't consider it to be a favored long or short until it crosses a 60% threshold, until it is clear and obvious that institutional traders, or retail traders for that matter, are favored one way or the other. So according to us, pound is still fairly neutral, slight favoritism towards the short side, but still pretty neutral. US dollar, on the other hand, is favored long at 67.17%. Retail sentiment has the pair 67% long and 33% short as a whole, so retail traders favoring the long side for the pair. Taking a look at seasonality here, we can see our last 10-year average and last 5-year average have this pair performing pretty well in the month of January, up above this neutral line here. So throughout the month of January, this pair does tend to do fairly well for itself. We can see that the current year average has it pretty much on that neutral line right there. So it hasn't technically dipped lower down. It hasn't performed worse than it started off the month as, although it is dipping lower and lower. So we could potentially see it drop behind that neutral line here in the next couple of days, and that would stay consistent with what we see in February and March, as we can see here that in the last 10-year average and last 5-year average, that historically speaking, this pair tends to continue to sell off in the early months of the year. And that is what we're seeing here with the strong sell bias. We have a trend reading score of -2. We can see that there hasn't been any real upward moves, not a whole lot of strong downward moves, but nonetheless, it has been trending lower and lower pretty much every day, continuing to drop, and our price forecast predicts that that will continue to be the case. And we can even see here that there's not a whole lot of branching off in all of these directions. Sometimes when you look at the price forecast, these lines can be pretty far spread out, but they're all pretty consistently saying that this is going to just kind of subtly continue to drop. Nothing drastic going to happen. Most likely not going to see it shoot up to the upside, but yeah, just kind of this steady fall over the next couple of days at least. Lastly, we're going to finish up with our fundamental section right here. GDP growth, inflation, and interest rates, all scores of -1. Unemployment is actually a neutral score. We have the same unemployment numbers for the pound and the US dollar, but again, we're getting new US dollar unemployment numbers tomorrow. And if unemployment for the US drops, I expect to see this pair drop as well, as people sell off the pound for the dollar. But let's go ahead and get into the fundamental section here. GDP growth minus 0.3% compared to US 3.2%. Like we just mentioned, our unemployment numbers are the same right now for both the pound and the dollar. pound inflation, 10.7% compared to the US 7.1%. And lastly, pound interest rates, 3.5% compared to the US 4.5% interest rates.
So pound USD down pretty hard today. Did not quite hit my level. I was looking at a potential short up in this 1.21 level, never quite got there. So a bit of an unfortunate situation there. I would have loved that short on pound USD. Again, it was on my watch list here as a possible sell going into this week. So pound USD, huge move to the downside. And the question is, have we just totally missed the move? And I think the answer is yes, if you were trying to catch this action. If you were short biased like I have been on the pound USD, I think we might have missed it, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean we can't reset and look for the next potential wave. So if I mark this area, right, I'm talking about this 1.1920 level. We are sitting at support. And watch this, you guys, as we continue trading here towards the end of the week. If we get a capitulation move underneath this level, like a big break, a flush to the downside, whatever you'd like to call it, if we can take out those lows, possibly looking to sell the retest, resets us a little bit, right? As long as we get that big move followed by a retest, I'm still game to potentially pick up the trade on the short side. So I'll show you what I'm looking for here. On the pound USD, we're looking at the 4-hour chart. If we could see a flush to the downside, and again, this is a bit aggressive, but move down to 1.1820, retests to there could be an opportunity, in my opinion, to look for sell side continuation. Anyways, pound USD is a sell overall, in my personal opinion, but still waiting for a technical setup to line up for me before I can actually take the trade. Now we'll flip it around. We talked about euro pound, one that I want to potentially get long on. Flip this chart here around. And hey, you know what? Euro pound roaring back, finding support down here in that 0.8805, 0.8785. So we saw some support come in and a lot of momentum picking back up with this one. So for euro pound, let's go double check, but I believe that this has a bullish bias. Yes, so we get a +3 on euro GBP. So that's going to be enough for me to potentially look for buy trade setups. And so if I look at euro GBP and I go over here and I say, okay, we've tagged major resistance, right? So major resistance has been hit. What are we going to do now? Well, the reaction is likely going to be what we saw previously, some sell side. But the interesting scenario would be if we can actually get a break above. So I'll show you this. If we were to see something like this, where we get, okay, yes, we're at resistance, but if we break above, we show clear signs that new demand has been found for the euro pound. This would be a bullish trade setup, right? So we're sitting at resistance. We have to respect resistance for what it is, but we're still in an uptrend. And I think if we can break through that high, there may actually be a beautiful opportunity to look to go long and continue the momentum to the upside. By the way, you guys, I am looking at the Edge Finder. We do have free trials available. If you want to try it out yourself, there's a link right here. To grab this link, you can just go down to the YouTube chat. If you're on your phone, it's below you. If you're on your computer, it's to the right of you. Click that link, fill out the form, and you can get access to a free trial of the Edge Finder if you want to try it out for yourself. Again, if you watch the streams every day, you'll basically be able to see, generally speaking, what my watch list is, what I'm personally looking at. I just go to this watch list section. We put it right at the top for easy convenience. But you've got so many different things. And I would encourage you, even if you don't intend to actually ever buy it, just try it out, because it's got so many cool things for you to consider in your trading. You can track what the smart money traders are out there doing. What are they buying? What are they selling? You can see what the crowd is doing. What's the crowd doing, right? If we were to look at this, for example, you've got dollar Swiss and CAD Swiss. These two are the most heavily bought by retail traders. So those are probably ones that I would not want to be buying myself, right? If we flip around, CHF, JPY, and NZD CAD are the most heavily shorted assets by retail traders. So if we know, and also UK 100, sorry. If we take a look at those ones, right, those are assets that retail traders are piling into short trades on. And so if anything, I'd rather be on the long side than that. Just knowing that the retail crowd unfortunately tends to lose money. It's a red flag to be piled into the same trades that they are. Not always, and they are sometimes correct, but understanding where they're positioned can be a powerful insight to your trading. So if you don't already have the Edge Finder, like I said, we dropped a link in the chat. If you'd like to try it out, click that link, grab it for yourself today. Just fill out the free trial form, and one of our team members will get to you as soon as we can.
Obviously, with the DXY ripping to the upside here, give us a nice strong close. That candle's about to close the next 40 minutes. Interested to see other daily candle closes as well. I've been talking about Euro USD on a key monthly level. Same thing with the DXY as well. Key monthly level, this is where we were ranging. Market was struggling to break out of this range. It finally broke out. This could be the retest of that level, and we could see a bigger move to the upside for the DXY. So more than happy to be looking for some longs if we can get a solid breakout of this 4H range, which looks like we may be getting that in the next few minutes. So yeah, DXY, it looks like we could be getting a bullish bias. So pound USD, Euro USD, looking for the sells there. Pound starting to rip to the downside. I'm still not a fan of pounds, quite frankly. It's just way too corrective. It's starting to pick up some pace now, and yes, it has broken through that for a lot of momentum. But I think this is a good trade maybe for the lower time frames, like hourly time frame and below. You've got some clear lower swing highs here. These could be great entries on like the hourly or the 30-minute or 50-minute time frames, and actually get some really nice trades out of that. But for me in the 4H, this structure is a little bit too tightly knit for my liking. I'd rather trade the Euro USD.
Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.